There we go. There we go. A little bit of technical difficulties, but we're good.
No worries.
All right. So, welcome to the first episode of the Syndicate Podcast. I'm here with my boy Emilis, who's actually traveling to Portugal this week, right?
I'm going to Colombia next week. So currently I live in Lithuania, but the plan is to move to Colombia for a couple of months just to nomad there, and haven't been to South America, so it should be cool.
So, yeah, I'm just going to ask a couple questions, stuff like that, and then we'll dive a little bit deeper. But so, first off, why don't you talk about like where you're from and just what you do for work?
Sure. So I'm from Lithuania, currently working with ecom and ad creators. So my whole journey began like 3 years ago with me joining one video editing agency, which I helped produce like ad creatives for Facebook ads, Instagram, and then slowly like thought, okay, I like the space. I like learning about marketing and business in general, and then learned more things how like about marketing psychology, and then like went into creative strategy from video editing. So I have like my team of designers now, and yeah, the main goal what I do is just create good ads that convert on social media and trying to like get better results for my clients and push the brands as much as possible.
Sir, and you dropped out of school, right? High school?
Yeah, so this year I technically had one more year left in high school, but it was too big of a challenge for me to complete. So I thought, like, what am I doing here? Because, you know, since like the ninth grade, I started working and like earning income that I could live from. And like the 11th grade, which I was in, was super painful because I was already living on my own. I was already living, like getting a decent salary. I was already like driving a car, but I had to still like attend 7 classes, which were like super uninteresting
Seven?
to me. Yeah, so I felt like I have nothing to risk. Pretty much, I would just have more time to do like what I love the most, is mainly like e-commerce and learning about it. And so far, it's been half a year since I've done it, and man, like one of the best decisions of the year, like because not only like career wise, especially career wise, because my income like 5x, 6x maybe like in a couple of months. So also like a cool conversation starter too, but I
It's
don't
dope.
regret
It's
it
dope.
at all.
That's like the entrepreneur's dream right there, eh?
Pretty much. I
Drop
hope
out of
so.
high school. Yeah, man. So you said you started in grade nine, like online businesses and stuff?
Yeah. So I got introduced into ecom and the whole paid media game from my brother, who was working in one marketing agency at a time, and he just showed me some things, asked for some video editing help, and yeah, pretty much. I think I was 16 when I got like my first gigs in the video editing space and like ecom, and yeah, after that, tried various side hustles. Some of them failed. Tried like dropshipping, YouTube automation. Some agencies like side projects worked. I did like short form content agency, which generated like maybe like $4,000 or $5,000 like in profit in a couple of months, which like showed me, okay, I can take any idea on the internet and just put it into action, and that worked quite well, just utilizing my skill set. So yeah, trying all those online business ventures, seeing what worked, what not, and one of the main focus for like the past half a year, I think one of the businesses of my own which I want to focus on is mainly building a personal brand, which I'm doing like on LinkedIn primarily, because like I'm super bullish on that platform. I recommend it to anyone I speak to. If someone asks me like how to get clients, I say build a personal brand on LinkedIn, and it's like a super cool platform. So yeah, that's been some ventures that I was working on and still planning to.
So what made you actually stick with making like creative copies for brands?
Yeah, mainly I think it was seeing how much demand of like this skill set was in the whole market. Also, I liked it, and I like it a lot because like it combines both visual side of things, so video editing, thinking of various hook ideas, how to make those videos engaging, how to make them like as crazy as possible and as converting as possible. But also, I think a big part of it is analyzing the data, seeing why our creatives performed, why they didn't. So going to Ads Manager, seeing all the metrics and trying to like analyze. So I like that you can combine both of these fields, like super creative point of view and like statistics, like maths in some way.
Yeah.
So that's what I love about like what's that's what I love the most about it. And yeah, I think there's like a big scale in terms of Facebook and TikTok. All ad platforms are transitioning into like automated media buying. So you just uh, like set up one campaign, run it on auto mode, and like Facebook AI and like Meta have developed their algorithms to like the max, so they know
Yeah.
who to target. And from the media buying perspective, it's not as like a big performance lever as creatives are. So like I started thinking, okay, creatives aren't going anywhere. They're like the number one thing that drive the performance. Okay, I'll double down on it because people will search for those people. And even if I launch my own brands in the future, I know that if I focus on paid media and advertising through social media, creatives are going to be one of the key lever, like key performance movers, which I can utilize based on my skill set. So that's my main approach, and uh, generally I like learning a lot about it and just connecting with people in my space. And yeah, I think those are the main reasons.
Yeah, I think it's hella interesting because like nowadays, or like before, you'd have to do all these different like campaign setups, like different ABOs, different spends, all this stuff. But nowadays, dude, like for a couple of my brands, I just run simple CBOs. That's it. It's all the creative nowadays. That's all that matters. And especially like the niche you're in, dude, it's a killer, bro. Because you're at the pin of it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And as we were talking previously, like TikTok organic and any sort of interesting visual content is what is going to perform the most. So as you mentioned, like uh, with on Facebook, those new advantage shopping campaigns are coming out and they're getting better and better. So what you do is just stack your best performing ads into one campaign, and it like chooses all the targeting for you. You don't even have to check it. Now with like the recent updates, they even optimize the budget for you, so you don't need to like go into the ad account 5 times a day just to
Yeah.
adjust the budget slightly. Facebook does it for you. So uh, definitely I 100% agree. And I'm super bullish on creatives too. Like
Hmm.
who masters those are going
Yeah.
to be on top.
Yeah, for someone like like the organic niche, like, dude, like people steal it from my videos, but like if I ever see a product and it has 5 million views on TikTok, I can just snap ticket, right? I'll just take it and then I can put on like TikTok ads or something, run it up, and it'll literally get sales. Like it's simply that easy nowadays. You know what I mean? It's like it's so crazy how easy everything's getting. I feel like a lot of people talk about drop shipping, e-com's dead, but like I don't think there's been an easier time to make money with it until like right now. Like seriously.
Yeah, you're right. Like
Yeah.
it also comes with issues, ad accounts getting banned or people like really rip off content from each other. And
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's a good thing that it became like a standard in the game that you can steal each other's content, but like that that's the game. pretty
Yeah.
much. And yeah, like there's so much opportunity to scale uh, with all like automation in terms of you can build like stores in minutes like, with a few prompts for AI pretty much. And I think we're advancing into like a new level where only like the hard skills of setting up like the best campaign or setting up the best looking website is not enough. It's more like thinking of customer psychology. What offers do they want? What products do they want? Why do they purchase? And really digging deep into customer psychology and utilizing that. And those store owners will like make a lot of money because that like it's not going anywhere. Dropshipping and like whole e-commerce is still booming. I think if you look like at Shopify stocks, it's going up and up and up. So yeah, it online stores aren't going anywhere soon.
What do you think of TikTok Shop right now?
Massive opportunity too. I haven't tested it myself too much yet, but from what I hear, it's like all in one platform. You take the fact that TikTok already has so much data about you because people scroll for hours each day. So like
Yeah.
the AI
Yeah.
can collect so much data, like what do people like, what do they not like, and when you have like one page checkout and TikTok shop it in the same place, man, it's just you're setting yourself up to print a lot of money and a lot of
Yeah.
orders. And I'm super optimistic about it. I think those who like come in right now, maybe even a month ago, are going to make a big buck. It's still, of course, developing, but you know, if you have the opportunity, you should be on TikTok Shop.
Yeah, bro. No, for sure. Like this coming year, like I want to like later, maybe in the summertime, I definitely want to run my own brands on TikTok Shop. Maybe a little bit sooner than that, but I know you need some inventory because like they want fast shipping and all that. But I think it's really good. It's a good opportunity if you know ecom because there's a bigger barrier to entry, right? Not like with a Shopify store, you can run a $1 3-month trial and test your products and stuff like this. Like on TikTok Shop, like you have to get inventory, you have to have fast shipping, you know what I mean? You have to have all these like ducks in line where it's like it's there's not a lot of like beginners going to do it. It's just giving you that barrier to entry to make a lot more money. So if anyone's listening to this right now, like get into TikTok Shop, either be like affiliate or just something with TikTok Shop, just learn about it because it's going to be big this year. It's going to be crazy. I'm thinking about doing some affiliate soon. I got a couple brands I'm going to do some work for. It's just going to be exciting because I've never really done affiliate. Just ran my own like drop shipping brands, stuff like that. But yeah, next question. What trends are you currently observing, and how are they influencing the way you create content for brands?
Yeah, so the main one is creators transitioning to authenticity more. What I notice is more and more creators. Let's take Sam Sulek as an example. He's like the
Oh,
peak example of talking about your niche in an interesting way. I don't think he edits his videos too much. That's just
dude,
chopped
at
up,
all.
chopped up clips. So, and people love it. And I noticed like the trend that most of us, even I do, are in a way like fed up with over polished videos or
Yeah,
something that looks super fake. Even like
yeah,
the drop shipping, you see all those gurus saying, you know, take the free trial of Shopify, run it on TikTok Shop, and you're going like go to Lambo dealership immediately, like pre-order your Huracan or something. But that's not how the game works. And following some creators who actually share their story in an authentic way is more interesting. And it's same with ads. We notice that like whitelisted ads, especially on Meta, when we run paid like when we run ads from the creator accounts, it's similar to Spark ads on the TikTok. Those creatives that we put out aren't like edited at all. Maybe like simple captions, nothing too crazy. Uh, the influencer talking about the product, how it helped them, and these videos, like these ads, crush absolutely. So yeah, the main trend is working with authentic creators and seeing people who have engaged audiences in their Instagram or TikTok, collaborating with them. And as for content side, you've probably seen like in the past couple of years the rise of UGC content and those super fake hooks. You know,
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
You advertise skincare and you say like it changed my life. No way it changed your life. Like
Yeah,
straight up, you know, it grabs attention for sure. In some cases, these are great hooks, but in general, the more authentic you can be, the more better your audience is, the better the like ads. So I think moving there and respecting the customers more because they sense when something's not right,
yeah.
and yeah, that's the main thing.
Yeah, and I think it's really effective because like when these people are scrolling for so long, like when as soon as they hear like a little bit of an ad copy or like whatever, like they're gonna scroll off it. So it's really about blending in. I feel like that's why organic drop shipping is so popular right now because like the biggest videos I have, it's like coming from like it looks like a teen just posting a video about a product, you know what I mean? But then they think it's cool, they check it out, they buy it, right? But like the reason I can get on so many people's For You pages is because they think it's just another piece of content. They watch the whole thing, share it to their friends, like, oh, whatever, whatever. So I feel like that's why it's so effective. People are scrolling, like, dude, I'm not gonna lie, man. Like, I'm still in high school, bro. I'd be scrolling like 4 hours like a day, 5 hours. I can't even lie, man. I can't even lie. But it's good because I kind of get a feel of like what everyone else is doing and what type of content's going out and what's effective. So that's why I think really like organic and like more authenticated content's just gonna be killer, dude, this year for sure.
I agree.
And how many brands are you currently working with right now?
Mainly five. So yeah, five clients that I spend the most time on, and some small gigs of like consulting or helping them out, but mainly five.
And is it products or is it more like softwares or SaaS?
Yeah, so currently I work with e-commerce like DTC brands only. So I don't have any digital products or like SaaS companies. I have experience working with those, but I see if I can focus on DTC only, and those like learnings which I see in the space can translate to like all of my clients, and I can bring more value to each of them. So I decided to niche down. Maybe I should niche down even more in the
Hmm.
future, but yeah, mainly e-commerce brands who run Facebook and TikTok ads.
What's your favorite niche to work with,
Good
like so
question.
far about the brands?
Yeah, I think skincare or either like CPG brands, so like food brands. Um, why? Skincare is just a lot of, you can do a
Killer.
lot of
It's killer.
interesting stuff with it. Not only like the products are quite perfect for ads because you can come up with all sorts of hooks for it, like super weird ones, and there's a lot of angles to advertise on. Also, women buy them primarily, so if it targets them, your brand is going to scale most likely.
Print. Yeah.
Yeah, and also anything like business wise, anything that has like repeatable purchases. So that's why food brands are killing it if they have like right subscriptions in place, and if people make like repeatable purchases. So I think those are the two mains that I like. I have the most experience in, at least.
Yeah, MRR on a D2C brand, dude, is like that's a gold mine right there. That's like the best thing you could have, man. And next questions is what are some challenges you've faced like making content for people? Like what are some challenges and just like struggles with it?
Yeah. So in my specific niche, like ad creatives, it's mainly, how to solve the problems when for like a couple of weeks or maybe even the whole month, like the ad account is tanking, you test all sorts of different angles, all sorts of different creatives, but nothing seems to work. And yeah, those periods are super interesting, especially like after the holiday season, which was like a month ago. You know, people say that there's like the Q5 in January, but the period before Q5 and after like the Christmas sales is quite rough. And most business owners agree that like it's a low period. So even if the creatives aren't performing too well, it's seasonality. But mainly the main challenge is to keep being creative and not get like stuck in a loophole of testing the same things that you see. And I think one of the problems most of the marketers do is trying to copy their competitors' ads and forgetting that you're also competing against the organic feed for people. So when people scroll their feeds, when people scroll like Facebook, TikTok, they don't only see ads, but they see memes, their pictures of their friends, some funny videos. So what you must understand is that your ads, it comes back to like the being organic, but your ads should outcompete even like the native content. So it's quite challenging when you don't steal the content, but you need to think of new ways. How can we maybe merge into trends that are happening right now? How can our ad creatives look like native posts? How can they be as authentic as possible? So I think staying like on your A game, thinking a lot, brainstorming a lot, and dedicating time to just think is super crucial. And it's hard to do it, when I have 100 tasks waiting for me.
Yeah.
But I know it's crucial to not do anything like for an hour. Maybe go for a walk. Think of some new ideas how we could position the product. Mainly, those are the toughest periods and like toughest challenges to face, because when everything's going well, I'm happy. Cash flow is going in, client's happy. When it's not, then the real work starts.
Yep, yep. And I feel like Colombia is definitely gonna help with that, eh? For
I
like,
hope
dude, for create like getting creative, man, you gotta travel, you gotta get out. Like a lot of e-com sitting at a computer, but like you're there for too long, man. It's very repetitive. Eh?
definitely. I'm really hoping that it will have that positive impact on me, because even here in Lithuania, it gets dark in the winter time at like 4 something like that. So you have the majority of your day in darkness and sitting in front of your laptop. So it's also like a challenge to force yourself to maybe like enlist in some hobbies, do something else, explore different things. And uh, that's just a part of the work, even though it could sound like paradoxical. But yeah, traveling helps a lot too. I must agree.
And so you said like content's gonna be more authentic. What do you think e-commerce is gonna be like in the future in these next coming years? Especially with AI being integrated to like every single website you're on nowadays. Like what do you think just the e-commerce platform is just gonna be like as a whole?
Hmm. Yeah, interesting to think about it. Probably where I imagine like the whole ecom going is similar to what TikTok Shop is now doing. So having products like in every app and making it as easy to purchase, and I would imagine like a brand could live out without any website, but it just having like a TikTok shop running, and they would still like could go to like nine figures without no problem. And looking even further, like X is now rolling in, and as I know, like Elon is trying to make it like an app for everything. So it'll include e-commerce too. So you'll definitely be able to shop for your needs there, and yeah, that's just positioning your products on the platforms, and positioning on the winning ones is going to be huge in terms of major changes for the whole e-commerce. I think more and more influencer brands are will come out. Uh, Fun thing is that like Prime, the drinks from Paul came to Lithuania, bro. So
Really? I didn't know that.
when I saw that, I thought like it's only the US thing and it's massive. But when you even ship like throughout whole Europe, I see it like in the biggest supermarkets, like convenience stores everywhere. So that was super interesting to see. And like naturally, I understand what the power of having a community is, and a lot of influencers who have like engaged following will launch their own brands. So I think one of the opportunities for ecom brand owners and like businessmen in general is to find those golden gems, maybe find those people who have a lot of followers and monetize them. So either launch a brand, help them launch it, build like an infrastructure, uh, because they know how to create content, but you know how to make e-commerce. So that's where I see the whole space going towards.
And then coming back to dropping out of high school, I think this is going to be really interesting to the viewer because I feel like it's going to be more young audience watching. But how'd your family react to that?
Yeah, I know. I warmed up them like half a year before
Yeah,
I decided. In my situation, I started. I turned 18 and I started to live on my own because I wanted to see how it goes, just to, I don't know, get more life skills, because that's what most people do anyways. They move on to universities, to different countries, to different cities. So in my case, I didn't ask my parents for any money since I started working at like 16. I could in a way like provide for myself already. They saw it, that they saw that after school I'm going to the office, I'm working, I'm doing something, I go to events. So I think that helped. And uh, pretty much, you know in my case, I had nothing to lose because I didn't plan to go to university anymore. And the one reason I would spend the whole year is mainly like a diploma, which I didn't really need for anything. And one cool thing, like what I observed from the whole experience, was here in Lithuania, you ask some friends, you ask family members, you're like, not many people do it. It's more like play it safe. What happens if after 10 years you suddenly need it? But then this summer, I got a chance to go to US, to travel there and to participate in one mastermind with a lot of like 70 ecom business owners, and talking with them, you know, they talk it like it's a casual day. Yeah, I dropped out of high school. I went to college for 1 week. I dropped out. Uh, and then you understand, okay, I'm one of many. Like,
yeah.
it's not a big deal, to be honest. And yeah, just expanding that bubble really helped. And I saw that, okay, pretty much is just my own imagination and overthinking. And in reality, no one really cares. And even listening to, Luke Belmar when he says, position yourself in a way on what's coming in the future, not what's coming, what was in the past. So I think a lot of the advice I got was, oh, 30, 20 years ago, you needed a diploma to even work somewhere. And that's like super reasonable. But in these like recent years, so much has changed. And I think so much will change that I know even like an eighth grader with AI can outcompete me completely if he knows how to prompt AI well. So I was thinking like, what am I doing? Those skill sets. I'm learning programming, and I can't use ChatGPT, to write like simple lines of code. What's the point? So I was really lost there, and in my situation, that was an interesting like decision, but I really don't regret it at all.
Yeah, like before, you really did need a diploma. And nowadays, like we got people with diplomas coming out of college, university, and like they can't even find work. And if they do, it's not a crazy salary, or it's a salary that can 100% be achieved after a couple of years of being in the online world and like cracking down on business, going all in. You can 100% get a 10K a month business going, 100%. So with this whole like online money thing, like I understand my parents don't get it all. They're pretty old fashioned. What would you say? Like, did you like how did you like did they understand what you were doing, or did you kind of have to explain it like in depth to them?
Uh, I think I didn't need to explain it in depth. I had like in my way, I had circumstances where my brother is doing like the same thing I do. So it was like from the bottom up, it was easier for me because my parents already saw someone else do it. So, maybe some people look at me and say, oh, this guy did like X or did dropped out of high school. How did his parents react? So I had an advantage. My cards of life were dealt in a way that I already like had an example in the family who has done something similar. So that was easier. But yeah, um, I'm thinking that having like earning money is definitely like a easy thing to do nowadays. And uh, even like 1 year can set you up like 10 years from now, because even in my situation, I see, as you mentioned, like people graduating college and not finding work. In 3 years of like my career already, I wouldn't have finished like, let's say, university, which takes 4.
Yep.
I've been 3 years into my career now, and man, like I already earn way more than most of the people after graduating do. So that's quite crazy. And the network, the skill sets that I have, the knowledge that I have, I think the opportunities that I see are endless. So that will be cool to see how it utilizes in the future, and how can I make the most out of it.
Yeah, that's good. And so does your brother also make content for brands? Like do the creatives?
Yeah, he started more in the media buying side. So his main skill set is media buying, mainly like Facebook. But he was the one to prompt me that like creative strategy. So combining media buying with creatives is going to be like a most demanded skill set in the future. So I suppose that's where he's heading also, because he has like a lot of experience working with 8, 9 figure brands who have like internal systems. So he saw what the main bottlenecks of the brands are, and creative testing is definitely one of those when it comes to e-commerce and DTC brands. And yeah, so we're in a way pushing each other to get better at the scale, and we have a lot of common to talk about.
What advice would you give to those aspiring to enter like e-com content creation or just get into online money as a whole?
Start with what you have at the time that like is the best, and the best time is right now. I think a lot of Hormozy's approach has been super applicable for me, and what he says that there's like a million ways to, let's say, earn $1 million, but what you have to do is just stick to one thing, and eventually that will turn out well. So, just start now. You'll have an advantage after 1 year, even though you might not like, it's hard to see success like instantly because there's quite a big lag between your inputs and the outputs. But it's hard to fail when you spend a lot of time at one skill, honestly. So yeah, that's the main thing. Just starting, taking action, because if you don't start, someone else will, and they'll take the spot from you.
All right, for sure, for sure. So that about wraps up our time here. I hope everyone listening got some value from this conversation. Big shout out to Emilis for hopping on the pod. Really appreciate you coming on, and hope you got something from this conversation as well. And where can everybody find you?
Mainly LinkedIn, Emilis Karvelis, or Instagram, Emilis and Digital. I'll try to pump up more content.
Link it. I'll leave them in the link in description. I got you.
Perfect.
Yeah,
thanks
to everybody listening. Make sure to subscribe, like the video, so we get lots of people on the Syndicate podcast soon. Like my friend Yuan, he's going to be on next. We'll definitely get Emilis back on, like 5 podcasts down the road. See how far this podcast can go. But yeah, wraps up everything. Peace out.
Cheers.